Mm.
45. 45. 5 away from 50. 2 away from the draft episode next week. We didn't forget. 7 days away. On the clock. Who the Ravens are going to pick. Welcome back to the Purple Rain Podcast, episode number 45, the Jalen Ferguson episode, the Sack Daddy episode.
Okay.
Who else do we have? I know I saw somebody in the chat. I know I saw somebody. I just can't remember. I think K-Dogs. The Corey Harris edition.
The Corey Harris edition. Okay. I got you.
He said, you
I
guys
like
want
it. I like
throwbacks?
it.
I'll give you throwbacks.
Yeah.
Well, you know what we're going to
Yeah.
give you? The content. Welcome back. How is everybody doing? Let us know. Devon, Facts, MJ back from retirement, coming back from the 4-5. Love to see it. I see our guy, it's Boz. Let's get it out the way. You know it. I know if you follow me on Twitter, you saw my tweet. It is our boy Mod Boz's birthday. So a big happy birthday to our guy Boz. Hope you have a great birthday. And enjoy it. 22 Club, welcome to it. How are you, my guy, son? How are you?
Hey man, I'm doing all right, man. I can't complain as usual. And again, like you said, happy birthday. Big happy birthday to our moderator, Boz. That's our guy, man. And I know he mentioned me on Twitter earlier today and asked if, I was trying to play some Madden anytime, man. He's been killing me in Madden lately. But I got to get my rematch against you. I know it's your birthday, but we might have to get that popping, man. I'm just saying. But happy birthday, Boz. But yeah, we got the whole Rang Gang in the chat as usual. If you're watching the replay of this and you're our favorite Steeler fan. If you're not watching the live stream version of this and you're watching the replay, hello, thank you guys for watching as well. You're gonna want to make sure if you can, try to stop by and catch the Purple Rain Podcast live in action. That's gonna be every Monday and Thursday at 8:00, sometimes 7. But we'll update you on our Instagram. Now, if you notice, we got a little bit of a different look today. Slightly different, Yeah, it's kind of up here now. We can both kind of point to it. Isn't that kind of cool? Right. So you guys can go ahead and make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. You're going to get all updates for everything Purple Rain and, of course, Ravens football as well. But there's a couple of housekeeping things we got to get out of the way. You guys know we got to do it. Like the video. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. It helps us out a ton. Also, subscribe to the channel.
We're going to see. We're not going to tell anybody to like the video. We'll see at the end what we get. We say it a lot. Like the video. Let's see what they can do without us saying it, because I think we let us know. So let's see what happens. And I see real quick, Void says it's his dad's birthday. So happy birthday, Father Void. Another big happy birthday. Everybody going crazy with the April 22nd birthdays. It's Arsenal defender David Luiz's birthday today too. So it's everybody's birthday, I guess. But we'll get into that. A lot of soccer news, a lot of football news, and want to start with it?
Yeah. I guess we can go ahead and kick it off with some football news. What was the article? You sent me an article earlier today, right?
Of course.
What was that article about? Can you kind of share that with the Rain Gang?
Yeah, so I was just scrolling through the interwebs, had some downtime before my class today. I'm like, let me see what's popping on the Ravens. And CBS Sports says that the Browns emerge on top of their AFC North off-season rankings, and the Ravens need to make a splash at the 2021 NFL Draft. Need. So they ranked each of the AFC North teams 1 to 4 how their offseason was. Number 1, Cleveland Browns. Number 2, Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 3, Cincinnati Bengals. And number 4, all the way at the bottom, the Baltimore Ravens. They said that the good is that we kept Tyus Bowser, Pernell McPhee, Derek Wolfe, signed Kevin Zeitler, signed Sammy Watkins, but the bad. We lost Jihad Ward, Yannick Ngakoue, Matthew Judon, and center Matt Skura. They're also bracing themselves for the likely departure of Orlando Brown Jr. Well, the validity of these articles saying that losing Matt Skura is a big deal kind of got thrown out the window. Just say you don't watch Ravens football.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't even on the starting line. So that's kind of weird. But what still needs to be done, we have a glaring need at offensive tackle, linebacker, safety, edge, and receiver. Glaring needs. Okay. So, want to talk about it?
Yeah, man. Let's talk about it. Okay. What are your initial thoughts on that, man?
We do have some glaring needs in some positions, but a glaring need at safety? I'm not sure about glaring. A need, yes, but not glaring.
Yeah.
Receiver, not glaring anymore, but still a need. Edge is the only one I can agree glaring. And Ask me next Friday if there's a glaring need at offensive tackle, because at this point, I'm not sure if Orlando Brown Jr. is going to get traded. It's first round or bust.
Yeah, man. You say that, but I still think that there is a huge, and when I say huge, I mean a huge possibility that Orlando Brown Jr. is dealt before or maybe even during the draft. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think that if I had to bet my money on it, I don't think Orlando Brown Jr. is going to be playing in a Baltimore Ravens uniform next season, and we're gonna need to draft his successor next Friday or next
And you
Thursday.
know
I
what?
should
There's
say.
some good tackles in this draft. I'm cool with that. But like I said, we'll find out next Friday. I mean, if he's going to be a Raven this offseason. I mean, this season.
Yeah.
Because if he's not traded, what did you trade him for, you know? Kind of. I mean, maybe mid-season trade, but we'll talk about that. And one player who's on our radar is left tackle Alejandro Villanueva, who had his visit with the Ravens today.
Yeah.
A lot of news, a lot of processes. So I just want to break it down one by one, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess we can kind of pose the question
Okay.
like the question of the title of the video or on the thumbnail. Do the Ravens need to make a big splash in this draft? When you
Big.
say the word like big splash, I'm thinking like, okay, they have to go out and draft a wide receiver first round because that's a splash. Most splashes are made with offensive picks, players on offense. So if we go out there and we get a receiver and we fill that, that quote unquote need that everybody thinks that the Ravens have, like that's their biggest need. They need an outside guy. They need a, sure-handed receiver. They need a guy. That's the big splash. Now, do we need to do that? I don't necessarily think that we do, Now the article got it right. They did say that the, our biggest need, and I think you led with it. The first one that they mentioned was offensive line. Now, I'm with that all the way. You?
I'm putting it number 2. It's still my number 2.
It's near number 2?
Yeah, edge is number 1. It has to be.
Mm.
And here's why, because the fact we're bringing in Villanueva, like we have a plan. The Justin Houston thing, we haven't heard anything about that. Melvin Ingram's out there. Like there are viable options, and if both of them get snagged up before the whole like May 3rd, May 4th deadline to comp pick, I'm going to be absolutely pissed off. If we're like worrying about a pick over somebody to help the team now, but if they aren't signed, it's going to look beautiful, like smart as hell from the front office. But yeah, edge is first for me. Lost Yannick and Matt Judon. As much as I want to say O-line, we can develop them. Edge, man, outside of Zadarius Smith, it's been kind of weird. I mean, Judon had his moments. Yannick didn't fit us. Pressure Daddy hasn't really shown me anything. So, yeah it's a weird offseason, but I still think, we're still a playoff team. And I think they're just trying to get some clicks out of this. But we're talking about it so it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. Devon Johnson chimes in and says the only quote-unquote splash would be a top pick, fellas, and we are not moving up. Now, I've seen a couple of, pundits, a couple of guys say that the Ravens might move up. They might trade up in the draft. That would be a real splash. That would be a real splash if we traded up. Yeah. So how would you feel if we did something like that?
Piece. I mean, how would I feel? Come and tune in next Thursday and find out how we will feel. I mean, if it happens, but I'd be shocked because we never trade up. We traded back in the first round to get Lamar Jackson, but we traded back like 2 or 3 times that draft.
Right. Yeah.
If we did
historically, yeah.
If we did that, it's a player that they say is going to help us right now, and I'd be all over it.
Let's see. Devon Johnson also says BPA, best player available, will probably be offensive line by the time we pick, honestly. That's interesting. I mean, I think you could be right. There still could be like a Tevin Jenkins available to pick at that 27 spot. And if he is there, I'm going to be completely honest with you, Alex. I say we take him. I say we take him over a Terrace Marshall.
Not against that.
I mean, listen, I say we take him over Rashad Bateman. I say we take him over an edge guy. I do. I really do, man. And you want to know why? I know that like our defense is always pretty good, right? Our defense is always pretty stout, no matter what. But our offense is what's really been kind of holding us back. And a lot of Ravens fans, they've been like kind of clamoring for, the Ravens need to go ahead and they need to go out and get their number 1 wide receiver. That's going to be the key piece in, improving the passing attack. But honestly, though, because the big thing is the passing attack, right? Everybody wants the passing offense to get a lot better with the Ravens, but people are forgetting that anything that's as complex as a NFL passing attack, it has to be built from the ground up, from the most basic needs and on from there. Take like the construction of a building, for example. Like you don't begin building a skyscraper 500 feet in the air, right? You start from the ground up. You say, okay, what do I need first? Okay, we need like a foundation. Okay, we need support beams here, here, and here. Okay, now we need our walls, and now we can move on to the next floor, and so on and so forth. So you need to go in order of what matters most first. You know what I mean? And like that's gonna start with like the offensive line. It's gonna start with the offensive line because you got to ask yourself, in order for the wide receivers to perform and succeed, what has to happen at the first level? What has to happen at the first level? What do we need first, Alex? We need a quarterback who is capable, physically capable of throwing the football. Boom, we have that in Lamar Jackson. Checks that box, right? Second level. What do we need at the second level? We need a solid enough offensive line that is going to give Lamar Jackson enough time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To create opportunities for our wide receivers. So, and our wide receivers are relying on Lamar Jackson to give them an opportunity. And Lamar Jackson is relying on who? Our offensive line to give him an opportunity, to give our receivers an opportunity. So what I'm trying to say is that like the receivers rely upon Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson relies upon his offensive line. So for us to go out and make like a big splash and I would say it would kind of be a reach if we go wide receiver round one. I know I said Terrace Marshall Jr. in the past, if he's there, take him. But I've been doing a lot of thinking, guys. I'm thinking offensive line. Tevin Jenkins would not be a bad pick. We need that successor to Orlando Brown because you guys know what happens. You guys know what happens the last time we had a really, really good offensive line. Look back at 2019, guys. Look back at 2019. It wasn't that long ago. We had crazy. Orlando Brown.
What's the big
Marshall
difference?
Yanda.
Yeah, Marshall Yanda.
Yeah.
That's the big difference. Just
exactly.
one person in general on the offensive line.
Right.
And
exactly.
what you just said, I know this is like we're Ravens fans, but bro, if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, you draft an offensive lineman with your first pick because of what you just said. They have the weapons. They have T. Higgins. They have Tyler Boyd. Bro, if Joe Burrow doesn't have a line, his other knee's going to have a scar through it because he has no protection. So just get off the topic real quick. You made great points. I agree with you 100%. The fact that they're talking about, should we take Jamar Chase? Bro, you need Maxwell. Like, bro, you need a line. So back on the Ravens. I wouldn't be against that. I always say it. The offensive lineman isn't the sexy pick, but most of the time it's the pick that is right. And I'm going to go back to 2015. The Ravens go 5-11. A year that was hard for people to watch. That was a terrible year. And what did we get out of that? Our cornerstone left tackle with number 5 pick, Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah.
It wasn't Jalen Ramsey. He went before. Ezekiel Elliott went before. We got the lineman. Now look at it. I mean, one of the highest paid left tackles in the league, and he, on his day, is the best left tackle in the league. So I'm agreeing with what you said there. I wouldn't be against an offensive lineman either.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's where it all starts, right? We have to win the battle in the trenches. If we don't, we're not going to win in the long run. It's just as simple as that. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, yo, what's up, Rain Gang? What's up, Jonathan? How you doing today, man?
Welcome.
Let's see. We have our guy King. In all caps, he's coming through. He says, so why draft Jenkins if Orlando Brown is not traded? We need help now. We need help now.
Pain. I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it.
And when you go ahead, bro.
You go.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think that Orlando Brown, we have to be realistic with ourselves. He's already come out and said he wants to play left tackle. We have a left tackle that we're paying a boatload of money. You know what I mean? We're not gonna have. He's not. I highly doubt Orlando Brown is going to willingly want to play the right tackle position next season. Maybe the Ravens have sat down with him and got him to, they hashed some things out. Maybe he's gonna play one more year, play out his contract. I don't know. But it looks like as of right now, Orlando Brown will be traded at some point. And you say we need help right now, getting a number one wide receiver, not a number one wide receiver, hoping that we pick like somebody who can turn into a number one wide receiver. It's a little bit far-fetched right now, but you got to look at what we need the most, though. You got to look back at that 2019 season. This is the point that I was making before when we had Marshall Yanda at right guard and we had Orlando Brown at right tackle and Ronnie Stanley at left tackle. Look what Lamar Jackson did. He led the league in touchdown passes.
He was throwing to Seth Roberts and Chris Moore.
I
have beef with him. That Browns game, how do you not know where your feet are?
Right. Man. So like you said, he was thrown to a receiving core that included Chris Moore and Seth Roberts. Like we didn't even have Dez then. We didn't have Devin Duvernay even. We certainly didn't have Sammy Watkins either. You know what I mean? And Lamar Jackson led the NFL in touchdown passes. That's over guys like Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, even though I know he was hurt a couple games that season. All those guys, Josh Allen, all those guys. You know what I mean? So the protection is the biggest thing. That's how we're going to get help now. And, I'm kind of replying to King in this. That's our help right now. We get protection for Lamar, and Lamar can make it happen. He's shown us to do it before, right?
Yes, and I mean, going back to the 2019 season, we also had this guy named Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
Another tight end. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we take a tight end, maybe third or fourth round, but it just depends who is available because they're going to go BPA. They did it last year in the second round. I know we got Josh Oliver. I honestly think that I think he'll be tight end 3. I don't think we're going to draft a tight end, even though, I mean, if a good one's there, but I think he's tight end 3. I mean, he was a third or fourth round pick, looked really good in college, just dealt with injuries. And tell me a time Jacksonville actually developed a damn tight end. Their best tight end was Julius Thomas from the Broncos. So I have the faith in Ravens for developing a tight end. We've done it before. But yeah, like I said, it's not the sexy pick, but I just feel like if you protect your investment, good things will happen. I mean, look at Josh Allen. I remember watching Bills games last year. This dude was standing in the pocket, both feet flat, standing there.
Yeah.
And he just drops a dime to John Brown, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley.
And Alex, I want you to say what you said one more time. What you said at the beginning of that sentence. If you protect
your investment.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna do better. They're gonna want to stay. I mean, think about it. If Lamar Jackson does not get hit, he stays healthy. We throw him that damn contract, sign it. And if it's in the right territory, because it's showing that we want to build around him, we want to protect him.
Yeah. Yeah. And you gotta understand as well, like you said, protecting your investment is the most important thing, and good things will come of that. So if you get like a Tevin Jenkins and he's the successor to Orlando Brown, you get cheap labor for a couple more years. And I know you guys probably hear my garage going off. I'm sorry about that, but you get cheap labor for like a couple more years if you are going to go ahead and draft an offensive tackle, because we were probably going to have to get ready to go ahead and pay Orlando Brown sooner than later. You know what I mean? If we were going to hold on to him, but
and Mark Andrews too.
Right, exactly, and Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? So with Lamar Jackson's contract coming up, it would probably be in our best interest to have some guys, at least some guys down on that offensive line, who aren't getting paid a whole lot. You know what I mean? Who aren't eating up a whole lot of the cap space, And when I say getting paid a whole lot, I don't mean like that, but just relative in terms of cap space, So
I see Caleb says Pat Fryermuth from Penn State. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, depending where he would fall, I don't think the Ravens would take him. But, I mean, listen, I would love to have him on the team. But, like I said, I think Josh Oliver is going to be the tight end 3. I mean, he has competition. He's not set in stone. But I think we're going to be back to running tight end 3 tight end formations this year. Because Tomlinson was a great blocker. Tomlinson was more like a Boyle, but just didn't have the hands because he was never thrown to.
Right.
But Oliver, I think, can block and can catch, hopefully. So, hopefully, we can see those back. And Greg Roman, tight ends to him are like wide receiver 1s to other offensive coordinators.
This is true. You guys know I'm really high on Brevin Jordan out of Miami, for sure, tight end out of Miami. So I don't know. Maybe we can get one of those guys. But I definitely think that the Ravens will draft a tight end this year again.
You think so?
I know you said we might not, but it's just the Ravens way, man. I think we're probably gonna get
6 tight ends. That leaves with 6: Mark Andrews, Nick Boyle, Eli Wolf, Jacob Breland, Josh Oliver, Eric Tomlinson, and then be 7. Oh boy.
Well, hey.
7's a crowd.
It is for sure, but we know how much the Ravens love those tight ends. But I see Trevor Watts puts a kind of little hypothetical right here. This is what our offensive line would look like if with Tevin Jenkins and Orlando Brown, but minus Orlando Brown because we're probably not going to have him. Yeah. So Jenkins, Bozeman, Zeitler, Stanley. And now they were talking about moving Bozeman to center too.
I thought Zeitler was going to be a right guard.
Well, yeah, definitely.
I guess he can play left guard too.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we'll probably plug him in at a right guard.
Yeah. His power
Yeah,
is left guard. I mean, that's if we were to take Jenkins, but all
yeah.
hypotheticals. I mean, that's the beauty of the draft. We'll find out next week.
Let's see. So our guy Andrew Sakara has a little prediction in here. He says if Ravens trade Orlando Brown Jr. for a first, draft Marshall or Bateman and Tevin Jenkins in the first, and one of Humphrey, Miners, Dickerson in round 2. What do you think about that? What if that happened? What if the Ravens traded with somebody to get higher in the first round? They go out and they get Terrace Marshall or Rashad Bateman and a Tevin Jenkins.
I mean, you rushing the quarterback.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Are
You're
you going
right
to throw
about that.
one? I mean, that's
But
if
remember
we
that.
were to have two, I would like one offense, one defense.
Hmm, okay, I feel that. I feel that. But we also talked about on here before that, like, this draft is very, very deep at edge.
Yeah,
It's pretty deep at edge. So we
right.
may see a guy like a Carlos Basham or one
That's
of
true.
those guys,
Boogie
fall to
Basham.
us. Yeah,
That's
Boogie
true.
Basham out of Wake Forest. We may see somebody like that fall to us. So you never know. And then we also still might sign Justin Houston. So I think the Ravens have a legitimate plan for like the pass rush situation. And since the draft class is
I hope
a
we
little
do.
bit deeper, yeah, I hope we do too.
I mean,
Since
because
the
I
draft
don't want
class,
to
yeah,
see our $98 million corner blitzing 4 or 5
yeah,
times
that
a game.
just doesn't make any sense. It's not what we pay him to do. But yeah, let's see. That's a pretty good prediction though, Andrew. I like that. I like that. That'd be pretty interesting if that happened. Let's
Real
see. I
quick, I do
have.
see Mod Rush is in the chat. Came through a
Oh,
little
what a
late, but what's
rush!
up, Rush? Let us know. How are you doing? And how was your practice? You just came back from it. Let us know.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Taquan Christian says, "What's up, Rain Gang? What's up, Taquan? How are you doing
How's it going,
tonight?"
bro?
Let's see. And we had a couple other. I had my boy. My boy was in here. He said something that I wanted to bring up on screen for you guys. Let's see. Adeep Mahmood. He says we could get NFL ready wide receiver in day 2. The quality of linemen drops more after the first round. If we trade Orlando for a first round pick between 11 and 25, I want Christian Darrisaw, tackle from Virginia Tech. Wow. I like that. I like this a lot too, man. I definitely do think that we can get a receiver in day 2. And like I said before, guys, Lamar Jackson, he led the league in touchdown passes with a receiving core that is arguably worse than the one that we have now. Not even arguably, just undoubtedly worse than the one that we have currently, and the one that we had in 2020 as well. So I think it makes a whole lot of sense to try to wait until day 2. It doesn't make a lot of sense to like reach in day 1 when we have more glaring needs. But like you said, Alex, it's the more sexy pick, right? On
Yeah.
offense, if you go and you draft a receiver. But I think Adeep Mahmood has the right idea here. We can get an NFL ready receiver in day 2, whether it be a De'Ami Brown, whether it be, Tylan Wallace, whether it be, guys like that, that'll probably be there in round 2. Or maybe even like an Amari Rogers, guy like that. So who
And
knows?
Amon Ross St. Brown from UFC too.
Yeah.
I like him. But real
Yeah.
quick, I want to bring this up. It's from Hodog. I love that name. He says, "Start here. Who needs Orlando Brown Jr. the most? The dominoes tumble from there." Let's talk about that. Who
Hmm.
needs? Does he need us more? Or do we need him more? Because think about it. If he chooses to not play right tackle, we have him for another year.
Yeah.
So just real quick, do we need him more, or does he need us more? You can let us know in the chat.
Yeah, you guys let us know in the chat. Does Orlando Brown need us more or do we need him more? I mean, honestly, it's hard to say. It's really hard to
It's
say
really
because,
hard.
like we really need him, but it's going to get to the point where we're not going to be able to afford him.
That's
He's
honestly
proved,
true.
yeah, he's proven himself as a solid right tackle and a very solid left tackle as well. And he wants his money and he wants to play left tackle. So he, I don't know, man. I don't know. We need him, but I feel like we're in a good enough position with our draft picks to
Yeah.
go ahead and get, his successor. Maybe a Tevin
Yeah, and
Jenkins. I'm
I
just
think
saying.
about it, bro. We have him in the third round.
Yeah,
We didn't spend a first round pick on you. We can
right.
scout our linemen, and we're
Yeah.
looking to bring in your replacement or Alejandro Villanueva. And if you don't think that we're scouting tackles, bro, come on, come on. We're
Right.
looking to go right past you, and we're looking to get as much as we can for you to ship you out and make this team better. So I'm gonna say he needs us because if we really wanted to, we could f his career up so bad. We could waste his years, but I know we won't do that.
Yeah, and he doesn't deserve that either, for
No,
sure.
no. But I'm
But
just saying,
yeah,
it
I
could
guess
be
for
worse
arguments,
if we got like a Le'Veon Bell situation. It could get ugly, but or
right?
Antonio Brown with the Raiders, but it won't get to that point.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat. The kind of general question is, do the Ravens need to make a big splash in the draft? Because you also got to think, you also have to take into consideration as well, all the teams that are around us in our inner circle, aka the AFC North, they've all
Yes.
gotten a lot better. They've
Do we
all
talk
gotten a
about it?
lot better. Let's
Tell me
talk
how they
about
got
it,
better.
man.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
talk about it. So, let's start off with the Cincinnati Bengals, last in the division last year. They have
yeah.
got new uniforms. New Bengals uniform. Hey, new uniforms. Maybe they'll turn it around.
New
Um,
swag.
they signed Trey Hendrickson to a $60 million deal. They
Right.
signed cornerback Chidobe Awuzie and Mike Hilton, former Steeler, and they added Riley Reef to help protect Joe Burrow. Almost said that the wrong way, but we're not going to talk about why. Um, and then let's talk about the Steelers now. That's kind of all they did. The Bengals, what they added. The Steelers, they got back Juju Smith-Schuster. We all knew
Yeah.
about that. He was
Eh,
Ravens and Chiefs. Threw the bag.
Yeah.
They retained Zach Banner, offensive lineman, Cam Sutton, and Tyson Alualu. Re-signed Vince Williams. And they brought back lineman B.J. Finney. And now, your third reigning offseason champion, Cleveland Browns. They always win the offseason. Why haven't they won the Super Bowl yet? We can talk about it. They signed defensive backs John Johnson III and Troy Hill from the Rams. They signed Malik Jackson, linebacker Anthony Walker, and Tack McKinley, and Jadeveon Clowney, and re-signed Rashard Higgins.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what they did.
Man, the Browns, they definitely have probably the best roster on paper, on paper in the AFC North. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. But real quick, I just want to remind people to a team a couple of years back.
Right.
They made all these really, really good signings. And I'll be honest, I was all hyped over them. Really, really hyped. 2011, the Philadelphia Eagles. Remember them?
Yeah.
Oh, they were the dream team. What happened? Flopped. So I'm not going to get too hyped on the Browns. I mean, they made some really good signings, but that chemistry has to be there. We'll see.
Well,
But
I mean, I think the thing about the Browns now is that they've kind of like shook that losing culture stigma. You know what I mean? So it feels a little bit different with the Cleveland Browns now. I mean, hey, they made it just as far as the Ravens made it in the playoffs
did.
last season.
They did.
And they came very close to beating the Chiefs. Very, very close. We came this close to seeing the Cleveland Browns in the AFC Championship game, bro. Hey, we can't sleep on them.
Chad Henne he ended their season. Chad Henne.
Yeah, he did.
You let Chad Henne end your season. Hey, at least we lost respect to the Bills. And we didn't. Our quarterback got hurt.
Yeah.
You lost the best quarterback in the league got hurt. The backup came in, still beat you. And I love slandering the Browns. And I'm going to say it again. I was 8 years old the last time that they finished above third place in the AFC North. I'm 22 now. Grow up. Mickey Mouse signings. Poverty signings.
Man. I don't know. Man, listen, bro.
I'm playing.
telling you.
I'm playing. They're really good signings. They're really good signings.
They are, man. And I just think that the Browns, I think Kevin Stefanski, he's really got that team on track, man. They've kind of turned it around. They've turned it around. Baker's maturing, which is good to see. Just as a football fan, of course, I mean, as a Ravens fan, we want him to continue to make mistakes and things like that. But just as a football fan, Baker, he's actually playing well. He's playing better than he did, in the first couple campaigns that he had. But honestly, I think that they're our stiffest competition, man. And I don't even want to say in the AFC North, but probably in the AFC. And I say this only because we have to play them at minimum twice a year. And
you know what's lucky is that since they finished in third place, they get to play all the easy teams in third place.
Yeah.
Once again,
Yeah,
man, it's like they just always just like they're a pest. It's like
they
that
are.
bug in your house that you're trying to keep on trying to kill, and it keeps on hiding behind like the furniture and stuff. That's the Browns. Go away.
Yeah.
Go back to being poverty. But yeah, they're gonna probably make the playoffs again. But that running game is what they're gonna rely on. They're gonna say, Baker, listen, don't throw interceptions, move the ball, be smart, and we'll win games.
Hmm. Yeah, it's all about managing, risk when it comes to Baker Mayfield. How many times, or how much do we really want to let him run our offense? Because they definitely do hand that ball off quite a bit to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, as they should, of
Yeah, I mean
course,
1-2
as they
punch, but
should. Yeah.
they can have them. We got Gus and J.K.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, but
And
it's just what's up.
you can finish that, and I was going to say something else. What's up?
No, man, I was just saying, like, it just goes to show, like, how much competition we really do have in the AFC North. This is
Best division
probably
in the
the best
NFL
division in football.
by far,
Yeah.
easily, easily. Um, well, I was bringing up J.K. and Gus. J.K.
Hmm.
Dobbins is one of the few Ravens that flocked west to Arizona,
Oh.
the
Oh.
Wild Wild West.
Hmm.
Yeah, you want to talk about it?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews, and Sammy Watkins all said we're gonna go. Well, Mark Andrews lives in Arizona, but they said they're gonna go to Arizona, train, get some off-season work in, and build that chemistry. Personally, I love it.
Hmm.
This is just everything I think we asked for. I would love to see Miles Boykin go. I heard he took the wrong route. Not surprised. Um, uh, I would I would like
He
to
just kept
see.
going.
He's in California
Yeah,
right now.
bro.
I mean, but hopefully no Duve and Prochet can be out there. Maybe Gus, but I love it.
Hmm.
I mean, these are the guys who we are going to make the plays, and the fact they're working out right now on their own time. I mean, how can you not love it?
Yeah, duh. Honestly, man, when I saw that, Lamar Jackson, and first of all, I know we all saw that Lamar Jackson to Mark Andrews pass that they had. Oh my goodness, that got me so hyped for football. Not even just for like Ravens, like just for football, coming back in general. Just watching that pass from that angle, it looked like a really good pass, really good catch too. Can't wait to see their chemistry between Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson next season. But I think my favorite part about seeing all those guys together is J.K. Dobbins being there too, man. Because
That boy is
it just
big.
he
I didn't
is
know how
he's
big he
huge.
was. I did not know
He's
how big
huge.
he was.
Yeah, yeah. You saw that Instagram post. He was swole in the gym. That's for real. That's for real.
I hope that
Um,
anybody's girlfriend does not follow him because he would take your girl in a heartbeat. I mean, after that picture.
but look, man. I just think that J.K. Dobbins, like him being there, it means everything. It means everything because
Yeah.
you got to look at who he's there with: Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, and Mark Andrews. Those are our top three playmakers on the team, on the
Yep.
offense.
Easily.
So
By
adding
far.
J.K. Dobbins to that mix, that playmaker ability and that chemistry between those three that they already had, that's gonna rub off on him. That's gonna
Oh,
rub off on him. And he's gonna have more of that playmaking ability next season. He's getting those off-season reps in with Lamar, working on his hands. I'm sure of that. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's practicing a lot, catching out of the backfield, and even running routes and stuff like that too. When like Lamar's in trouble and he
yeah.
needs a guy to get open, like he did. J.K. Dobbins did in that divisional game, but he just
Oh,
dropped
boy.
the ball, unfortunately. So getting all those things together, and on top of the fact that we already knew that J.K. Dobbins was going to be a problem next season. We know that for a
We know. I
fact.
mean, if you don't know it, now you know.
Yeah,
We told
yeah.
you.
Now you know. Yeah, you're welcome. By the way, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you didn't know that
Yeah,
J.K.
if they know
Dobbins is
that.
going to be a beast, man.
Um.
And we're talking top 5 rushing yards.
Oh, I mean, top five. I'm gonna hopefully say top 10. We love Gus. We'll give Gus his games, his snaps. But
You're right. You're right.
yeah, real quick. See, we have our first super chat. We
Oh,
got MMA Ike Turner. Yo, what's good? Hashtag PRP. How are you doing today? Thank you for that. Let us know. Let us know how you're feeling.
yeah.
Ranking. How are you guys feeling? Because I think it's a great Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
A little too cold for my liking, but hey,
Right.
next
Yeah.
week it's gonna be beautiful. So happy times. Almost done with the semester. But speaking of J.K. Dobbins, can you just imagine if like he becomes a threat out the backfield? that could maybe take Mark Andrews being triple team, maybe to double team now, because you actually have to worry about J.K. out the backfield. I'm like, so Gus can catch out the backfield too, but if J.K. Dobbins can just catch and like become maybe like an Alvin Kamara type out the backfield, oh my gosh.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm saying that. I'm not saying he's gonna be like him, but if he can just get those hands, it's scary. Scary hours.
Oh yeah. If he has the hands, that's really gonna be like the piece that puts it all together for sure. Let us know in the chat and in the comment section down below if you're not watching the live stream. How do you guys feel about J.K. Dobbins and linking up with Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, and Hollywood Brown as well, and Sammy Watkins? How do you feel about all those guys getting together? Yeah, do you like it? What do you like about it the most? What do you like about it the least? Yeah, like it, love it, hate it. We have another super chat donation coming in the meantime from our guy Sis. Thank you so much for your donation, bro. We appreciate it. We really, really, really do. He says, just fought AD X-rays coming on Tuesday.
Oh man, hope you're all good.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound good, but we're hoping
definitely, man,
for the best. We're praying for you.
Yeah, we are definitely praying for you, bro. All right, let's see what else that we had. TTB Ravens Media is in the house. Big shout out to them. They say, I don't know, Tyree Phillips may be top 3 in playmaking. LOL.
bottom 3 in blocking.
That's hilarious.
Maybe top 3 in playmaking.
Yeah. But I mean, back to the whole Dobbins thing, and not even just Dobbins, but just all those guys getting together. The chemistry that they're gonna have is gonna be unmatched next season. We're gonna see that, day one. I think we're gonna see it week 1. A whole lot of J.K. Dobbins getting, the ball passed to him by Lamar, and Hollywood getting open, and even like Sammy Watkins as well. I think we can expect
week 1
a good amount from Sammy Watkins. Yeah,
week 1 Sammy.
Y'all know, y'all know what that's about. But the big thing is Miles Boykin, and we just touched on it, but somebody says here Boykin's definitely getting traded. Boykin, Miles Boykin gonna get thrown into the OBJ trade. Like, what are we really gonna do with Miles Boykin? Does it concern you at all that he was not there with the rest of those guys when clearly, it's not like Miles Boykin is on DeAndre Hopkins status or anything like that. He needs to be taking reps with Lamar and the gang too. So
I would care if Duve and Proche were there, but they're not there. So I mean, maybe he wasn't in the group chat. I don't know. I mean, maybe they just forgot to add his number, don't have his number. Maybe he changed his number. Or maybe he's just doing his own workouts, maybe somewhere in Notre Dame at his old college. But I'm not really that worried about it. I just think there's a lot of Miles Boykin hate. He turned it on, second half of the year. So if he can actually, maybe do some training this offseason, maybe we'll see. But
yeah,
physical. You were given a beautiful thing that I wish I was given, which is height. And you're not using it.
Let's see.
How tall is 6'4"?
I think he's 6'4". Yeah. Lamar Jackson's passer rating is really high when throwing to Miles Boykin, believe it or not. It's like the second highest of the receivers that we have, right behind Mark Andrews. So I mean, he definitely is. You could kind of say he's underrated in some ways, but at the same time, it's like he's never just that guy. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't really make that big play. He's like the he scores his touchdown catching the defense slipping a lot. You know what I mean? He's not like that huge playmaker. Yeah. But
he does catch him slipping. Yeah,
he really does. So let's see a couple more points from you guys here in the chat. Christopher Swain says, I love that Lamar Jackson, Hollywood, Andrews, Watkins, and Dobbins all linked up and are putting the work in together. Watkins can get a head start on the system that Greg Roman runs, and Lamar's arm looked really good. Shout out to Christopher Swain, by the way. Thank you for coming through.
Yeah, and I mean, I know they went to South Florida last year, but them going to Arizona, it's kind of nice. They're accommodating it around Mark Andrews. That's pretty cool. And the fact that the running backs there, I think J.K. Dobbins knows he has to improve on his pass catching out the backfield. I think that's why I went, to be honest, to do better with catching. Because what's the point of handing it off to him if you're just have 5 of you guys and not practicing? So hopefully we see more pass catching Dobbins next year. Reset back Dobbins.
Yeah. Honestly, let's see. Our guy Click One says, I can't tell you about how I feel about Lamar Andrews, Hollywood, Watkins, J.K. working out. But I do know that Lamar can be in the NBA. He showed that he can be a quarterback, running back, and point guard at Dick's Sporting Goods. Yeah, you guys saw the video, man. He was getting buckets,
cool.
man. He had
Both
a
of
nice
them.
little form, too. Yeah.
Splash Brothers, I'm pretty sure. Is that what we're gonna call them now?
I don't know. I know one thing, though. They are definitely the coolest wide receiver quarterback duo in the league, and that is hands down for sure.
What comes close to it?
Yeah,
I'm
nobody.
not.
There's
Yeah.
no other quarterback wide receiver duo that's quite like Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown. And I think we're gonna see a lot more of those two this season, man. I think the more and more we talk about it, man, the more and more excited I get for Hollywood Brown too. He's like, if you had to go top 3 players that you're excited for on the offense next season,
Offense.
who would it be? Yeah.
Bradley Bozeman.
Okay. That's a good pick.
I'm
I
gonna
would
go
say
Mark
Kevin
Andrews.
Zeitler instead of Bozeman.
Bozeman, I think he's moved to center.
Well,
If oh,
if he gets
I
moved
mean,
to center, yeah.
yeah. Mark Andrews, he's gonna ball out in his contract year. You know this.
Mm.
He's gonna do amazing. Uh, and then I think I gotta go Marquise Hollywood Brown. I think you
Over
have to.
Dobbins.
Oh,
Mm.
so now,
Yeah.
see, I was trying to think of under the radar guys. I mean, honestly, as a pure fan and not like just trying to analyze it, Dobbins, Hollywood, Mark Andrews, just as like a fan just looking for excitement. I was looking
Yeah.
way too much into it.
Yeah. Let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat as well about that. Oh, somebody coming in with a bold prediction. Mallow226 says Boykin is going to go off this season. Watch him. I hope so.
What's your predictions, bro?
Yeah, let us
Drop
know
it.
your predictions. Jabari Cruz Ellis, thank you for joining the show, bro. He says, I'm sorry to say this, but if Boykin goes to another team, he's definitely not going to ball out. This is a make or break year for him because he was supposed to be our big body wide receiver. Yeah, I remember when we drafted Miles Boykin. I was very excited. I was like, you know what? He's a taller receiver. He's a big guy. He can go up and make contested catches. I seen him do it a couple times at Notre Dame. And he's fast too.
Yeah.
But it's just it didn't really translate well into the NFL. But the good thing is, hey, we got new offensive coaches. We got new receivers coaches. You know what I mean? So these guys that we have, these are the same guys that Lamar led the league in touchdown passes with.
Yeah.
So if we're bringing in our new coaches and we've added, we've upgraded our receiving core since then, I think our passing attack should be fine, guys. I think it should be okay.
Speaking of these coaches, I wouldn't mind drafting Amari Rogers out of Clemson. I really wouldn't mind it because his dad is now a coach for the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't. I mean, that's just me. If Marshall and Bateman weren't going to be there, or if we passed on them for a lineman or edge. But how would you feel about that if you took Amari Rogers from Clemson? Because I don't think we've ever drafted somebody from Clemson.
I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and check.
Yeah.
But I would be a fan of that if we can get him at the right time. It would have to be, of course, probably like second round, something like that. We could probably, second or third, we could probably scoop him up if he's there and it makes sense. And he's probably the best wide receiver available at the time. Hopefully by that time, we've already drafted either edge or offensive line. You know what I mean? That's what I'm assuming that we probably would have drafted by then, unless we bring up, unless we go ahead and draft somebody like a Trayvon Moehrig. And MB brings up the point here. Says, what do you guys think about safeties? Can we get Trayvon Moehrig? Deshaun Elliott is up for a big year. Like, what do you think about us getting safety? How excited would you or how disappointed would you be if the Ravens got Trayvon Moehrig round 1?
I'd be excited. I love safeties. I would not hate it whatsoever. I know if let's say Jenkins is there at 27. Let's say Aziza Ojulari is there. Let's say Terrace Marshall Jr. is there. Let's say Trevor Moehrig is there. If we take Trevor Moehrig, then I won't like it. Because there are bigger needs than safety. But if they're all taken, I wouldn't be mad at it. That's how I feel about it. I mean, but I think about it. We got Chuck Clark and Deshaun Elliott, I think, either round 5 or 6. I think it was 6th round picks, both of them. So we can hit on safeties late in the draft.
Okay. So, I mean, you kind of lead me to this. So at pick 27, and I know I probably asked you this last episode too, or something along the lines of this, but you're Eric DaCosta, and Terrace Marshall Jr., Tevin Jenkins, Trayvon Moehrig, and Azeez Ojulari are all there. Who you taking, man? Out of those four guys.
Did we trade Orlando Brown Jr. yet?
No.
Taking Azeez Ojulari.
Taking Azeez? Okay.
Like I said, but if you traded, we're taking Jenkins.
I like that.
That's what I'm going with. I mean, I just think safety is like 4 or 5. I mean, J. Will makes a great point. Trade back. That also is something that I would definitely consider. Think about it. You get more picks, and then you still get to pick a player that you need. Because if they're all there.
Yeah, I like that too. But I don't know, man. I think I would be pretty excited if we go with a safety, especially one like Trayvon Moehrig. He's a special talent. He's a pretty special talent, man. But we have another super chat donation coming in from our guy Gerald. Gerald is back. Thank you so much,
Gerald.
man.
Gerald,
we appreciate you.
Every single time, Gerald.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cut you off. I'm gonna have to find out how to cut you off.
He says Sutton Def and Simply Is 10. You guys are on point. Have to go. Take care and stay safe. Thank you, Gerald. We appreciate that. You take care and you stay safe as well.
Thank you. Thank you for coming through. I see Boyd says he went to Iguodala. As do I. Who doesn't?
Makes a lot of sense. Ravenous Quando's in the building. Shout out to you. He says Keith Williams and T Martin are going to take us to another dimension. I'm too hyped about those two, man. I think that's the most underrated move of our offseason. No one's talking about it.
Nobody is, and cool. Keep it that way. Because when you see these players try to light it up, Marquise Brown, he's gonna get 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah,
I said it. He's gonna get 1K.
And when he hits 1K, or we get to a point in the season where everybody realizes that the Ravens' passing offense has gotten a whole lot better, don't be surprised when you hear, Chris Collinsworth or Tony Romo giving a shout out to Keith Williams or T Martin, and these guys, T Martin and Keith Williams, they've really turned around this passing offense. I tell you, don't be surprised. Now
here's a guy in T Martin that was coaching University of Tennessee.
Yeah,
no, he went there. He went to Tennessee. Who went to Tennessee? And coach at USC. He made Sam Darnold a top 5 pick in the NFL draft in 2018. Al. So you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, don't be surprised. Let's see. T Martin, he coached people like Juju and Adams. That's true. Misfit.
Keith Williams coached people.
Who's that? Who?
Tyreek Hill.
Ooh.
Devontae Adams.
Talk to him. Yeah, man.
2 of the best in the league right now.
2 of the best in the league. So I'm definitely very excited. As my boy Simply, I'm sure he's equally as excited as I am to see exactly what Keith Williams and T Martin do with the Ravens receivers. That's for sure. Kimberly Harmon says, Kimberly says, you guys are my favorite YouTubers ever. Keep up the good work. Much love. Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And I see Tyler says, what do you think of Ronnie Perkins from the Oklahoma Sooners? He can play on the edge. Did we pick him in our mock draft? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
yeah, we did.
We picked him. So
we had just to review our mock draft. We had Terrace Marshall Jr. going at pick 27.
28. We traded back.
28. We traded back. That's right. And then we had Ronnie Perkins at pick number 58, and then we had Asante Samuel Jr. as well, because we just did a 3-round mock, but. I think we did a pretty good job. It
was fun.
Yeah, go back and watch that episode if you haven't seen it. But let's see. All right. What else do we have for?
I see that covers my fellow soccer brothers here. And God, what's up, bro? How you doing? How are you doing?
Yeah. What's good, bro? What's good? Speaking of soccer.
Okay.
Last episode, you went on a rant, and you were very passionate about it, very heartfelt. And a lot of people felt you on that. So I just want you to kind of give us like an update on what's going on with the European Super League. What's all going on with that, man?
I want to say thank you to everybody that listened to it, because I wasn't expecting the type of feedback. When you hear about Americans, they don't care about soccer, but the fact that you guys listened, understood my pain, I just want to thank you all for that. So basically, I think on Tuesday, the day after I made that, teams backed out. Chelsea, they were going to play a game against Brighton and Hove Albion, and their fans showed up, and they did not let the team bus get in there. They weren't letting it get in there, and then it came out that Chelsea left, Man City left, Atletico Madrid left, Manchester United left, and Manchester United's executive, I think, I forget, Ed Woodward, he left their club, like basically kind of their GM left. Then my team, Arsenal, left, and there's actually a bunch of teams. Only 3 teams left: Juventus, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. Real Madrid will be the last one to leave because they're kind of the founders about it. But yeah, I mean, it goes to show fans have a voice, and don't ever let anybody say that they don't. Because if fans say they don't like it and won't watch it, then the team's like, okay, let's back it up. So, yeah. And Rush, we will be smoking a Super League pack soon. But I'm just happy it's no more. And I still feel the same way about Stan Kroenke. Yeah, sell my team because we don't claim you. And I know, oh God, he feels me too. I mean, nobody wanted the Super League. I didn't see anybody say, yeah, I want a Super League. Nobody wanted it. So.
Yeah, man. Based off of what you were telling me and the rest of the Rain Gang last, episode, nobody wants to see anything like that. Nobody wants to see anything like that, man. Like, it ruins the competition of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, like they said, what's the point of watching these big games every single week? Because you just get bored of it. You like having it once or twice a year because you build it up. You build that excitement up. Right. And then there's this, it takes the fun out of it. Like I said, some of the teams that were in that, like my Arsenal, we're not good. We're in 10th place right now in the Premier League. There's 9 teams better than us. Why the hell are we in this Super League? Oh, it's because we generate money. AC Milan, they were good a couple years back. Haven't done anything since. So it's just money, just greedy. And the Real Madrid president, Florentino Perez, I cannot wait till we're smoking his pack soon. He needs to go too. Yeah. Because he's like, they said, he thinks that, he thinks that 13 to 16-year-olds are not interested in soccer anymore. Absolute BS. Absolute BS. So.
Yeah. Looks like the Rain Gang is in full agreement with you here. Big W, says Anonymous.
Oh, huge W.
Yeah, I mean, that's really good news. That's really good news. And, you never want to see something like that because I know you made the comparison to football, to NFL last week. It would be like if all the playoff teams just played each other and, like, that was, like, it, right? And that wouldn't be right.
And the worry was that since there's American owners that were doing this, they could try to implement it into American sports. Actually, Rich Eisen, on his show, was talking about it. And I was surprised American media picked it up, and I was like, wow, like, if they were to try to do this, it would be terrible. It would be terrible.
Yeah. Let's see. Ravenous Quando says, I'm still on the Titans pack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's some good pack right there for sure. Hopefully we can get some more of that, man. It's nothing like beating up on the Titans, man. Anyways, great news. No Super League, so that is, looking like it will be no more, which is great. That's awesome for, all soccer fans and just sports fans, really, because you hate to start, like, ruining the integrity of some of these sports, like, that's not what you want to do. That's not what you want to do.
It was officially, like, created April 18th, and then teams backed out on April 20th. It lasted 2 days. That goes to show you the backlash of it. And like I said, I've never seen anything like it with the fans, so it's actually pretty cool to be a part of it. I'm starting to keep this name until all the teams are backed out, so they can screw it up.
So you got your team back.
I did. Play tomorrow. I mean, it's like I'm not upset at the team. It's the ownership because they're all greedy as hell, and that's just most of the teams. They don't care about money. They don't care about the fans. They care about money, and there's actually going to be a huge protest at the Arsenal game tomorrow at 6:00. I can't wait to see if people actually follow their words.
Yeah, so make sure you guys tune into that. Thank you so much to Simply AS10, my guy Alex, just for keeping us updated on all things, Super League and everything that was going on with that, because it was a huge situation in the sports world that, like you said, American media didn't really pick up all that much. So yeah, we thank you a lot for bringing that to our attention, and I do personally, because I don't watch a whole lot of soccer. I normally only watch like around like times like, World Cup and things like that. I'm really into it. But that is very, very, good information. It's good
Yeah.
information to have, just to know how like corrupt it is, like in soccer. And I know there's a lot of things wrong, with like soccer and things like that.
Yeah. You can look at the
In terms,
2022 World Cup next year. It's in Qatar. It's gonna be
yeah,
in the winter because it's so hot there. That right there, they kind of paid to get that.
yeah,
So I mean, there's still corruption all around. And actually, if you want to watch countries, the Euros is this summer. So
okay, yeah, I
definitely
definitely have to
something.
check that out. All right, let's go ahead and transition to our next topic of the night, and after that, we'll get into our question segment. But this topic kind of it hits home for all Ravens fans,
Oh, let's talk about it.
Uh,
Oh boy.
it hits home for a lot of Ravens fans, and the question is: does Joe Flacco deserve to have his number 5 retired on the Ravens? And that is at the Rain Gang. That's right. So you guys are gonna go ahead, put it in the live chat. Let us know. Do you think that Joe Flacco deserves to have his number retired with the Ravens? And if you're not watching the the live stream, and you're watching the replay, make sure you let us know down below in the comment section. But Alex, I want to get your take on it first. I know a lot of people have been talking about it on Twitter lately. Joe Flacco needs, nobody needs to wear number 5 now that we're doing the single numbers, the single digits now. What do you think about that? Does Joe Flacco deserve to have that number retired?
So I promised myself I'm gonna I'm gonna end the pettiness. I'm gonna stop being so petty because I'm not gonna name names. But there's a lot of people just talking trash about Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Um, does he deserve to have it retired? 52 should be first. 20, 75, 55. Then we can talk about 5 or 73. But I don't think anybody should wear it. I just think we gotta just the blatant disrespect. The dude carried us to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Carried. I mean, if you're going to talk about defense, we were the 17th ranked defense that year. We were below average. I mean, I'm not going to say retire, but I want to see other people come first that we can have a discussion. But right now, it's definitely a toss up.
I can't say retire, man. I just can't. I
That's why I
can't.
said I need to see other people. I need to see them retire other numbers first because they haven't been retired yet. 52 and 20 haven't been. We just know not to wear them.
Yeah, but 5, I don't think that one should ever necessarily be retired. It's just Joe Flacco. He was very good for us in certain years and things like that. But his biggest contribution to the Ravens came in the postseason, right? We all know that.
January
And
Joe.
January Joe, exactly. But you guys just told me like a week ago that Julian Edelman couldn't be in the Hall of Fame because his main production came in the postseason. So with
Yeah.
that being said, I don't think that Joe Flacco deserves to have his number retired. I just don't. I really don't. Because if he deserves to have his number retired, then I guess Nick Foles deserves to have his number retired as well with the Eagles. I guess. I mean, I don't know. But then also Joe Flacco, he was painfully mediocre. And I tweeted this earlier today. He was very mediocre for years after the Super Bowl, after we paid him those, that big contract. So
120 mil.
I can't justify retiring his number because he wasn't good consistently for us.
I mean, we failed him. We did fail him sometimes. I mean, with building around him. But I think I saw TTB said it perfectly. It's kind of like an unspoken retirement. Just know
Hmm.
not to wear it. Um, I mean, with the whole thing with I'm not gonna say retire it, but just if it's like a dire situation, somebody has to wear it. Then yes. But like I said, I still need other people to wear it first. I mean, that includes to retire first. I mean, Yanda's up there, Suggs, Ray, Ed, and Jonathan Ogden.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah, man.
if I think you can make a higher case maybe for Justin Tucker than Joe Flacco too.
Yeah.
But I don't think a kicker is ever going to
Honestly,
retire.
no, probably not. But I mean, Justin Tucker, he's all-time franchise leader in points. But Joe Flacco, no. And I see a lot of you guys saying, yeah, I just don't see like other than that the playoff run in 2012. Where else could we really look to Joe Flacco and be like, oh yeah, that guy is great. That guy deserves to have his number retired. Like, where else, Alex? Am I missing something here? Am I
I
forgetting?
think I think if Lee Evans doesn't drop that ball, and we go back to back, then we can talk about it.
Then we could
Easily.
talk about it.
Then we talk about it. But here's my thing. I
That's
saw
fair.
people bring up Trent Dilfer. Joe Flacco won us 2012. Trent Dilfer did not win a Super Bowl. The
No,
defense won a Super
yeah,
Bowl. Yeah. And Trent Dilfer was our third choice quarterback in the free agency that next year. and that's why nobody remembers him. And I think it's disrespectful that when we brought him as a legend of the game, that game against the Titans, 2019,
Yeah.
that's why we lost. That he is no legend to this franchise. No disrespect. I'm sorry. He is not a legend in the Baltimore Ravens franchise.
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, he's not.
Yeah, I don't think
Is,
so either. I don't think so either.
And the fact
Especially,
he was wearing 8, and so was Lamar, bro.
yeah.
No. Lamar in like 2018, his rookie year, surpassed Trent Dilfer for that Super Bowl too, because they could have had you at quarterback. And he's like, listen, just hand the ball to Jamal Lewis, make one good throw, the game's ours.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I mean, it also helps, in that 2000 Super Bowl when the Giants turned the ball over 4 or 5 times. So, you know. Let's see. Click One chimes in, says, yes, he holds a ton of passing records now. Lamar might break them, but yes, he should get number 5 retired. He brought us a Super Bowl, and may I mention he was damn near perfect on the greatest Super Bowl run. I agree. I agree with that.
I actually had a picture. Did I delete it? It was kind of just like how amazing Joe Flacco really was. And I guess as fans, you didn't realize how good he was because we were just happy that we won. But the stats this man put up, here we go. 1,140 yards, 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a passer rating of 117.2. Each figure, he was the best in that postseason. In fact, no quarterback was within 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, or 12 rating points of Joe Flacco's final postseason numbers. He was a different animal that year, that postseason.
I mean, yeah, I understand, man. 11 touchdowns, no picks. It's cool. I love it.
117.2 passer rating.
I love it.
Close.
I love it all. But it's like, in order for you to get your number retired, you got to win games for us, not only in January, but like consistently throughout the season. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be week in, week out. You're the reason we're winning football games. That's just what I think, though. I understand that he had a really great postseason run, things like that, but he never went to one Pro Bowl. You know what I mean? Never had over 30 touchdowns in a season.
He turned down a Pro Bowl. He turned down one because his baby got born.
Okay.
He didn't make it. He turned it down. Okay.
Well, I mean, like I said, also never threw over 30 touchdowns in a season. You know what I mean? Lamar does it in his second season. I don't know. I don't. If you're gonna retire Flacco's number, then shoot, Lamar is.
Here's my thing.
All it's gonna take is one ring.
It's like respect. I mean, I'm gonna bring this to like baseball. I doubt you'll see. I mean, I haven't seen an Orioles player wear number 10 since Adam Jones left. Yeah. We made the playoffs a couple of times when he was here because we're that poverty. I'll be honest, we're a terrible franchise with a terrible owner. Angelos can go F off too. It's kind of just like the unwritten rule. I mean, unspoken rule. Like, you're not going to wear it. You know why? It's not retired, but you're not going to wear it unless it's our last number available. But I just can't see anybody else wearing number 5.
Yeah. Living Legend says Flacco had horrible playoff games too. These fans don't remember it. They don't really watch. Yeah, there were games where Flacco definitely did not play up to what we needed him to.
Oh wait, that defense. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, he was.
But
younger,
yeah, 12 our defense was not good. I don't like seeing that.
Yeah, King says, was Flacco ever a top 10 QB? Was he ever a top 10 QB? Because if the answer is no, I don't know if his number needs to get retired, bro.
I don't know. We'll have to talk about that. I won't. I say 09 through 11 is probably the best argument you can get because even in 12,
yeah,
we switched offensive coordinators midway on like a 4-game losing streak, then won the division. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Ooh.
Yeah, God says Alex just has a thing for mediocre QBs and teams with crappy owners.
Bro, that's uncalled for. And what crappy owners? I'm done with the Rams. Done.
Quando says, then again, I don't think Flacco's number should be retired because he was god awful after the Super Bowl. Yeah, man. I mean, that's my whole point. That's my whole argument, man. Like, you can't get your number retired, but not perform after you get your contract. I don't know. That's just, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah,
but yeah. TCB Ravens Media says it doesn't matter how good he was, it matters how he is remembered, and he will always be remembered as a legend for the Ravens. And maybe that's just because the Ravens are a younger franchise. Maybe that's what it is.
I mean,
but
Matt Schaub is remembered the Texans legend. I hope he's not. I hope he is not. I mean, Andre Johnson easily, but yeah, I hope you don't think Matt Schaub. And just speaking of younger franchise, but if we're looking at where's some other younger franchises in the NFL, Jacksonville for the Mark Brunell.
Yeah,
I'm taking Joe over any of those guys. I mean, at least he got us a damn ring.
well, yeah, I'm taking Joe over those guys for sure. But it's just, I don't know. I guess I mean, if you retire his number with the Ravens, but he won't go to the Hall of Fame. Would that be fair to say?
Okay. Yeah,
Flacco's not going?
Yeah. Void. Bro, I see that. I might have to ban you. I might have to ban you. That is disrespectful.
Man. Yeah.
Disrespectful. And Joe has made the first 5 years of his career, went to the playoffs and won a damn game. 4 of them on the road. Respect Joe. Don't even put him in the same sentence as Stat Padford. And you were making me do it. They baited me. That's what it was. It was bait. I took it.
K-Dog says Flacco has more playoff wins than Breeze. Yeah. This is also true. I mean,
I think
Flacco
Drew's
has
kind
a
of
lot
overrated, honestly.
Ooh.
I think they look at his numbers way too much. He had this. They talk about Drew like he is like Aaron Rodgers type, like he's Tom Brady, like he's Joe Montana.
Isn't he like top 2 in passing yards all time?
Yes, but think about it. When the time came, I mean he was screwed out of some times. Actually, I'll take it back. He was screwed out of some by the refs. Yeah, I'll take it back. That right there.
Man, Drew Brees, he's definitely a legend.
Void, bro. If you actually take Matt Stafford over Joe Flacco, I don't know. Give Joe Flacco Calvin Johnson. He would heave that ball up every single play.
I don't know, bro. I feel like Matt Stafford with the 2012 Ravens offense, like in that system with that good of a defense, he might have. Our
defense was 17th that year.
I mean, but our defense actually, they showed up in the playoffs for the most part.
31 points against the Broncos.
About to say that's the only one right there. We did pretty well against the Patriots.
13. We went down like 13-3 or something, and then we came back. Yeah. And then that Super Bowl, they tried to give it away.
They picked it up. Now the Super Bowl is a totally different. That's Jesus Christ. That was just a game of momentum. That was a game of runs. It was almost like basketball. We went on our run, then they went on their run. It was just all right, whatever.
The lights.
Click One says we had the best red zone defense in 2012. Remember the game against the what was the final score of that AFC wildcard Colts game? I can't even remember right now. But that was Ray Lewis's last home game. I believe the defense played well that day. I cannot remember off the top of my head.
I got you.
Yeah, let me know what that is. Because I would like to know.
24-9.
Yeah. I'm about to say, I knew they had a good game against a couple of those teams in the playoffs, but I don't know. I just think that Joe Flacco does not deserve to have his number 5 retired. I just don't. And my main reasoning is because, yes, he won a Super Bowl, but after that and he got his money, he was painfully average, man. Just it wasn't good. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and move on from that. You guys seem pretty fired up about it. Make sure you guys leave your comments down below with your thoughts, questions, concerns about that topic, because it's a very interesting topic. It's kind of controversial, too. We're kind of split half and half here. Half of you guys seem to think that Joe Flacco should have his number retired, and half of you guys think otherwise, like me. But now I think we're gonna go ahead and get into our coveted Rain Gang questions segment where you guys can ask us.
Or just talk about
absolutely anything. Or just talk about anything. Yeah, if you have a topic you want us to touch on, whether it be about NFL sports, whether it be about basketball, whether it be about anything you guys want to talk about, even if it's not about sports, you guys can ask us about it, tell us about it, and we will talk about it for sure. So let's see what you guys have in here. And while you guys are doing that, go ahead and subscribe to the video. Not the video. I normally say like the video. I normally say like the video. That's why
Bro,
I'm messing up right now, because you told me that we're not gonna say like the video this time. We're gonna, we're gonna let them do what they do. And Rush brings it up here. He says, "Alex, are the kids eating?" We don't know. We don't know, and we're not
I can
gonna.
check, bro. I can check.
No, 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 don't
Oh,
check. No
oh.
checking. No checking. Yeah, we're not checking. We're not doing any like checks, anything like that. But yeah, big shout out to the Rain Gang. Thank you guys for coming through tonight. Let's see. We have a couple of things down here. And Void kicks it off. Says, just watched the 12-minute video of Lamar's pocket passing highlights. If at least 14 of his touchdowns came from the pocket, why do people still say he can't throw? Plus, this down year matched Joe's best year.
Because they were wrong about him.
Yeah.
They don't want to say they were wrong. Or they called him
Yeah.
a running back. If you say Lamar's a running back, say you don't watch football. That's how I feel at this point. Saying Lamar's a running back is like calling Ronaldo Penaldo. You just don't watch the game. Say it.
Yeah. Yeah. You clearly watch more First Take than you do Baltimore Ravens games. Or more just mainstream media, like it's such a lazy take nowadays. It's like Lamar's a running back. Like, no, he's a quarterback, and he's actually very good at quarterback. You look at a lot of the numbers, and you have to kind of put it on a curve because we don't throw the ball a whole lot. But when he does throw the ball, it's pretty darn efficient. That's why his quarterback rating is normally pretty high. But people are gonna say what they're gonna say to match their narratives. But whatever. Let's see what else we have. Rob Tsunami says MMA. Jorge Masvidal. Oh, yes. Jorge Masvidal.
I saw it today.
Jorge Masvidal is fighting for the UFC welterweight strap against champion, not Tyron Woodley, but Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman on Saturday night. That is going to be a pretty good fight. It's going to be a fun fight. This is the second time they matched up. The first time, Kamaru Usman, he beat Jorge Masvidal by decision. They went all 5 rounds, but the big thing, or the big storyline after that fight, was that Jorge Masvidal, he didn't have enough time to train because he accepted that fight on 6 days notice. So literally, like, Kamaru Usman's opponent dropped out 6 days before the fight. They got on the phone with Masvidal. Dana White called Masvidal and said, "Hey, you want to fly all the way across the world and fight Kamaru Usman for the title in 6 days?" And Masvidal is just somewhere chilling. He's like, "Okay, yeah, sure. I got to cut the weight and everything like that." But he does it, shows up and goes all 5 rounds with the champ. He didn't win. He did steal the first round from him, though. So this second matchup, both of those guys had a full training camp and everything like that. It's going to be a very, very fun fight. But my official prediction, I got to go with Ann Still, man. I got to go with Ann Still. I think Kamaru Usman gets it done. He beats Jorge Masvidal. Usman's just different, man. He's just a different animal. This was like over a year ago, when Masvidal fought Kamaru Usman for the first time. And that was the last time that he fought. Masvidal, that is. Kamaru Usman just fought like 9 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago. So he's still fresh. He's been practicing. He's been getting the repetitions in. So I'm going to go with Kamaru Usman. He's got the better wrestling too. Let's see what else we have here. On God, next question comes from him. He says, who do you think will get the 10 seed in the East, Chicago or DC?
Chicago doesn't deserve it. 12
They
points
don't.
in the first quarter against Cleveland.
Hmm.
And the wise of the
Embarrassing.
joking, no, who goes to Cleveland for a vacation?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Washington, they're on the up and up, man. They're on the up and up.
Streak.
Yeah, I'm going to probably go with Washington there. I'm going to go with Washington. Shout out to the Wizards. Christopher Swain says it, Messi or Ronaldo.
Who do you say?
I mean, I say Messi.
Saying Ronaldo.
Yeah. Everybody I
appreciate
know, but I say everybody I know that watches soccer, they say Ronaldo, but it's just something about Leo Messi. Like, I guess he was kind of like one of the players that got me reinterested in soccer some years back. So I'd probably say Leo Messi. But let me see what else we have from you guys. JTV
honestly,
says, what's up? You want to go back to that? Okay, cool. JTV says, do you guys feel Devontae Smith is a hit or miss type of player? He's a playmaker. I don't think so.
I think he's being treated super poorly. Like, they're saying like about his size and everything. And Tony Dungy actually had a great tweet. He was like, they said that about Marvin Harrison coming out, Reggie Wayne. Dude's a Heisman winner for a reason. I mean, the catches he made, I mean, against big teams, big schools. I think the disrespect is going to make him a hit player, and no miss, all hits, no
Yeah.
misses.
Yeah, and it's funny because like at the end of the college football season, the last college football season, Devontae Smith was like the highest graded like wide receiver. Like everybody was talking about him, ranting and raving about him. And there's literally been no college football played between then and now. But for some reason, Devontae Smith just keeps falling and falling and falling on draft boards. Kind of like Justin Fields too. But that
Yeah,
is a different discussion for a different day. But thank you for your question, JTV. We appreciate it. Um, let's see. Dominic Henson says, "How do you guys feel about that verdict finally going our way?" Um, I think you guys saw it yesterday with Derek Chauvin got convicted, or with murder, 3 counts. So 3 different charges, which is good. Somebody's being held accountable. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for their actions. So yeah. We got another question coming from Void. Would you rather have Pat Stafford or Alex Smith? I'm taking Stafford. LOL, have you seen his stats?
I take Stafford over. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, why not? Yeah, that
At
one
least
I agree.
Stafford, he can actually, like we said last episode, Alex Smith's not going to win or lose you a game, but at least
He
Stafford,
was a
he can win you
great
some
game
games.
manager.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
didn't make stupid mistakes.
yeah. All right, let me go through here. There's a lot of questions. We appreciate you guys for participating in our question segment tonight. Let's see, soccer team. Oh, our guy on God says he thinks Masvidal is going to take it over Kamaru Usman. Interesting. I hope so. I really do hope so because I love Jorge Masvidal. I think he's a huge star. He's really good for the UFC. A lot of people who don't watch UFC still know who Jorge Masvidal is, mainly because of that flying knee knockout that he had over Ben Askren a couple years back. But let's see what else you guys have for us. Adeep Mahmood says, if you could invite 3 people to a draft party, who would you invite? I would invite Ryan Reynolds, Lionel Richie, and Dwayne Johnson to a
Oh
draft
boy,
party.
a draft
Okay.
party.
Yeah.
Who do you have? I know one of mine already.
Man, if I can invite people to a draft party, I would probably invite. I'm gonna invite Chad Ochocinco.
Okay.
I'm gonna invite Bill Belichick, and I'm also
Go
going to.
Village.
Yeah, I'm inviting Bill Belichick.
Go
I'm explaining. I'm
Village.
explaining. I'm explaining.
Okay.
Um, and then I'm probably gonna invite maybe I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like a LeBron James or somebody cool like that in the NBA. I don't know. But I
Okay.
just feel like, I can get lit. I can have fun at the draft party with my boy LeBron and my boy Chad Ochocinco. Chad's a wild boy. He say some wild stuff. I can get lit with them during the draft, and then while the picks are being made, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I can just like, as these picks are being made, I can turn to Bill Belichick and be like, hey, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I can get all types of insight and stuff like that. So that's the
So
3 I'm going with.
I just thought about mine. Number one, Johnny Manziel, the guy who
Mm,
ruined his NFL career just to party.
I like that.
Number two, Travis Scott. The dude broke his damn ankle and still performed a whole concert.
Hmm.
That's gonna go crazy. And number three is kind of a toss-up. I'm thinking Rob Gronkowski.
He's a party animal.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Gronk, Johnny Manziel, and Travis Scott. I think that
Okay.
would be a fun time.
It would be a good time. That does sound like a good time. In the meantime, we have another donation, another
Okay.
super chat donation. This one comes from D Tomlinson. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
D. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Says for the
love it.
kids.
I
Yeah.
love that it's short and sweet and it gets to the point. It is for the kids.
Yeah.
It is.
Let me see. All right.
For the kids.
Um, what was the other issue we had? What's going on?
I see on God said he would invite me, you, and Rush.
I
That would
saw
be
that.
fun.
I saw that.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Quando says, what was the other receiver we had who was going off in the preseason? Jeremy something, not Macklin either, that bum.
Oh, Jeremy Miles? No, that he was a safety, I think. Oh boy, I know who he's talking about.
I
I
can't
got
remember at the moment either. Yeah, let's look that up. And while you do that, we'll bring this up. Void says, would
Jeremy Butler.
you...
Oh, D. I see a D. Nice a D. Jeremy Butler. Okay.
Let's see. KJ says start, bench, cut one. Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry.
Ooh.
Got to start one, bench one, cut one. What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
I'm starting Derrick Henry.
Starting Derrick Henry.
Benching McCaffrey, cutting Saquon. That hurts,
Mm,
but just Saquon's come back from a really bad injury.
yeah.
But it was between benching Saquon and CMC. I mean, they both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
I'm around
I
that.
think I'm gonna start CMC. I'm gonna
Okay.
start McCaffrey. I'm gonna bench Derrick Henry. I'm gonna keep
Okay.
him fresh for the end of the game when the defensive line is
Fair.
tired. Then I'm gonna plug him in. He's gonna go off. You can refer to that first Ravens game last season. And then I'm going to cut Saquon. Unfortunately, as unfortunate as it is, I have to. Just at this point, I haven't
Saquon's amazing,
seen. He's
but
amazing, but I just haven't seen enough lately from him. And I could say the same thing for McCaffrey, but I've seen more of McCaffrey than I've seen of Barkley. So I'll probably say start McCaffrey, bench Derrick Henry, and cut Saquon.
I got two comments I want to bring up real quick. First, Josh Hoffman. He would invite
Okay.
Gandalf so he would use his sorcery to get us in to watch the Ravens War Room. Belichick so he can do impressions of him. And my personal favorite, Bernard Pollard to do impressions of John Harbaugh. Because we know how much
Yeah.
Harbaugh and Pollard just don't like each other. I would love to see them just, what really
Yeah.
happened? Tell us. And the other one is my boy Quando. He would invite NBA YoungBoy, but he's locked up. And plus, he would shoot up the place. You can't have that.
Yeah. It's no good. No good. No good.
Yeah, cannot.
Definitely cannot have that. Okay, we'll take a couple more from you guys. Looks like we have another super chat donation coming in hot from our guy
Oh
Darius,
boy.
the official. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, bro. He says, I
Thank you,
gotta
Darius.
support. He says, but Alex, your Bulls keep losing. He's hella talented. And what's the best boxing match you've ever seen?
I haven't watched a lot of boxing. I've
Yeah.
watched the McGregor Mayweather. Um,
Hmm.
I watched Devin Haney a couple of times. I watched Gervonta Davis. I mean, I really can't. I haven't seen a great one. I mean, and I watched these
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse Jake Paul fights too. So
Yeah, I think for me, probably the best boxing match that I've ever seen. It wasn't necessarily good because it was so back and forth, but it was just a great display of greatness, and that was Floyd Mayweather versus Sugar Shane Mosley. And this happened like years ago, but it was a really, really good fight because in the beginning of the fight, Sugar Shane Mosley actually hurt Floyd Mayweather and
oh
that's not something that normally happens. Like he caught him with a good punch and he actually hurt him a little bit. And just after that, Floyd Mayweather, it was something like it clicked and he didn't let Shane Mosley touch him for like the rest of the night.
wow,
And he was just outpointing him and it was just crazy to see like just how much of a different level that Floyd Mayweather is on than these other guys, and
yeah,
it's the reason why he's 50-0. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that would probably be the best fight I've ever watched, just because of how great Floyd looked in that fight. But thank you so much, Darius, for your
yeah.
donation and supporting. He's always supporting, man. We appreciate you,
Thank you,
bro.
thank you. What's
Yeah.
the Rain Gang saying? I mean, I don't watch a lot of boxing. Let's see what they were saying.
Let's see. So Mallow226 says Gervonta Tank Davis versus anybody. I can't wait to see him fight again, man. I'm very excited to see him fight. He's very
I know
exciting
him
to
and Ryan
watch.
Garcia have been hyping up, but nothing's ever happened. I mean, I would definitely watch that.
Oh, you
I
have
would
to watch
definitely.
that fight,
And I
man.
mean, I'm going for Tank. I mean, you have to if you're from Baltimore. You gotta go with Tank.
Yeah, I
Like
honestly
I've seen Ryan Garcia train. His hands are crazy.
crazy fast, man.
I don't
Crazy
rock with
fast.
his off the ring encounters, but he's a crazy boxer. So
Yeah, he's really good. He's really good. Rob Tsunami says Jake Paul versus Nate. Jake Paul versus Nate. Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty funny fight. I'm not gonna lie. Pacquiao Marquez, any of the three, that is another good trilogy series of fights, man. Pacquiao and Manuel Marquez, those guys went at it. They went at it. So that's another good one for sure. Shout out to Ho Dog for that one. Let's see. KJ said, "What happened to Floyd versus Logan Paul?" That actually is
it's
confirmed. It's
happening June
happening.
5th.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
bro. It's happening. Like I think the TikTok versus YouTube, bro. Why are we giving these TikTokers attention? What do they do? What do they contribute to society?
Hey,
It's
man,
not. It's
engagement.
not. It's not entertainment. Because I'll say this right now: when I went on it, none of those people on there ever showed up on my page. I don't know how it works, but I mean YouTube. I mean, they bring something, but TikTok, man. I don't care who it is. I'm going for everybody on YouTube, and then obviously Floyd. I don't want any TikTok. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, man. Let's see. Tyler Sugar says, if Ryan Garcia fights Gervonta, he's got Tank Davis with no question. Tank will destroy Ryan Garcia, says Tyler. Okay.
Boy.
I think we'll see that fight, too. So, well, hopefully. You know how boxing is. Let's see. Josh Hoffman chimes in here, says, am I the only one who lost some interest in the UFC a little till they get Khabib to unretire? No, I mean, I guess you wouldn't be the only one, but I don't think that that's a good reason to lose interest in the UFC because there's so many other amazing fighters other than Khabib Nurmagomedov. And, you know, obviously he's undefeated, and that's the whole allure about Khabib. Everybody wants to see him fight because, like, just one more fight, man, one more fight, because you never know, he might lose. But there's so many other really, really good fighters on the up and coming, like, that are just, you know, look up guys like Zabit, Magomed Sharipov. Look at guys like Khamzat Chimaev. Look at guys like there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys on the come up right now, especially in the lightweight division too. So just make sure you're tuning into UFC, man. Make sure you're tuning in because there's a lot of good fights. There's a lot of good stars that are coming up that you guys are gonna want to know about. So, all right, we'll take maybe about 1-2 more.
When is Conor fighting next? I know.
He's fighting July 10th.
Be watching that.
Yeah,
I watched
Poirier. Yeah, fighting Dustin Poirier. Let's see. Tyler says, Sutton, do you feel like Max Holloway got robbed against Volkanovski? I'm from Hawaii, so seeing him get robbed by him disappoints me. Tyler, yes, I absolutely do think that Max Holloway got robbed in that second fight. I think that he definitely did enough to win that fight. That's for sure. Volkanovski really didn't look like the same fighter. It looked like Max had figured him out a little bit. He figured him out a little bit, and he was throwing his hands. He was letting his hands go, not really worrying too much or as much about the leg kicks. He didn't let his leg get chewed up in that second fight like he did the first one. So, yeah, I definitely think that he got robbed. But I'm excited to see the third fight between them because I know they'll definitely fight again. Let's see. All right, so let's go one more.
Actually, I want to talk two more.
Okay.
Christopher Swain, would you rather have Derek Thomas or Charles Haley? I actually talked about this a couple weeks ago, or I think a couple weeks ago on my Twitter. Bro, Derek Thomas was so good. So good. I'm taking Derek Thomas. Huge Derek Thomas guy here. What about you?
I think I agree with the Rain Gang in here. And you, Living Legend also says it as well. Derek Thomas. Yeah. So
good. Taken too early too. And the next one, we got to address it. Void. Cortland Sutton versus Sutton Def. Who are you taking?
Oh man,
the battle of the Sutton. If you win, you're Sutton Def, and he's Cortland. But if he wins, he's Cortland Sutton. You're just deaf. You're deaf. You can't hear.
I don't like deaf. See, you guys got faith in me. Quando says I got Sutton Def. Rush says Sutton all the way. Appreciate you guys, man. On God says Sutton Def. Anonymous says Sutton Def. That's actually what that means. That's what my name means. Sudden Death. It's like sudden death. Like in Mortal Kombat, sudden death. You know, it's like one of those things. Yeah. But, all right. Oh, man. On God says overlooked, underrated for the win. Absolutely, man. You guys go ahead and shop olerclothing.com as well if you would like some overlooked, underrated merchandise, and I'll put that in the chat. You guys are saying Sutton, no question. Appreciate you guys, man. Having faith in me.
They got faith in you. They said that if you're fighting, they want you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. But I think that's gonna do it for our questions from the Rain Gang segment for the night. And Alex, you have anything else for us tonight?
Right here. Say no to the Super League. 3 more teams left. Keep applying that pressure on these greedy owners. Say no. Don't watch it because I know I won't be. I'm a huge soccer fan. So yeah. You have anything else?
No, man. I mean, listen, guys, we're a week away, 1 week away from the draft. 7 days to be exact. Probably even less if you're listening to this after the live stream. But listen, you're going to want to make sure that you're tuned into the Purple Rain podcast because we will be live streaming the draft from pick number 1 to pick number 32 on the first night. So make sure you're tuned in. Even if you're not a fan of the Ravens, we're going to be talking about all the teams. All the
Come on.
teams, not just the Ravens, because, there's 31 other picks. So we'll see you guys on draft night. We've only got one more episode between now and then. So make
I
sure you
wonder what we can
subscribe.
talk about.
Oh, next
Let's
week?
see.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll see. There'll be a lot to talk about right before the draft, I'm sure. There'll be some new news that breaks. Yeah, like Voice says, one more week. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the Purple Rain Podcast channel. Make sure you follow us on Instagram as well. And then also make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime that we go live and anytime we post a video. But I think that's going to do it for us tonight. We appreciate all of you guys for coming through. And yeah, one last thing. Quando says I'm getting some of that Purple Rain gear. It's so dope. Yeah, appreciate you, man. That will be live soon and very soon. Still working on it. But yeah, Alex, you can go ahead and take us out.
and as always, thank you for coming through. And if you have not, like our guy K-Dog says, my K-Dog, like the video. I mean, did he lie? And let's check real quick. 75 likes. Is it valid?
Okay. That's valid. I like that.
They can come on out.
They can come out.
The children are out. Anonymous, I know you were locked down there. You're out now, bro. You're free. You can go and play whatever you want to do. You're good. But thank you for coming through to the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 45. I hope you guys have a great night. And as always, stay positive, test negative.
And most importantly, call God. And we're going to catch you guys in the next one.